Okay, title of our roundtable today will be projected soon, so you can easily give a look at it. Because I was very, let's say, focused on the title, and I'm sure that you're gonna laugh about the title. There's some. Okay, from ecosystem to ecosystem, how to build a truly integrated performance team. So we are experienced to work in elite basketball, and like I say at the beginning, it's now one of the main goals for any organization to build or to organize a performance team. What does it mean, performance team? It's a group of people that is working together. That is easy to be said, but not so easy to be done, you know? So my idea is, let's share our experiences in different countries. So that's a very important opportunity for us. So different experiences in different countries. One of the main problems that I found in my experience, that all of us, we are professional. And we share our knowledge with the different, let's say, units of professionals as well, like medical staff, like management, maybe coaching staff, whatever. And it's easy, or it's easier probably, most of the time, considering our knowledge very important. So doctors want to have a full responsibility for their choices. But the basketball coach says, no, I'm in charge of the full organization. But manager says, no, okay, here I'm in charge of the full organization, you are just a head coach, take care about basketball stuff and don't care about all the other things. So, which is your experience, you know, and my questions, because I wrote the question in a very simple way. What are the key factors that allow a performance team to move from a coexistence, you know, approach, so we are working together side to side, you know, like silos, or an integrate staff that are really and truly sharing goals and sharing procedures in your experience?
Am I first?
Okay.
Okay. I think this is a very interesting topic for one important reason. If you started this job 20, 30 years ago, when probably Francesco started this job, you would have more problem finding a good specialist than you would have problem with coexistence. Now, as you see, the number of strength and conditioning coaches or performance specialists, there is a really high number of them developing. With that, you have a level of knowledge where you actually deserve to be heard. On the second level, if I always think of a performance team together with a medical team, you have physiotherapists. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you would search for a really good physiotherapist. You can find a really good physiotherapist everywhere right now. Right now, when I'm searching, I'm in a position now to search for my crew inside a performance team. I more search for people that are ready to present some love from them than they are some amazing specialists. How to do that? Because I started not just as a head of performance, I started as a strength and conditioning coach, but you still have a performance team whether you have a department lead or not. I think the best approach is just to put yourself as in a position where you do not know everything and where you need help. And the coexistence actually, well, the department works together if everybody acknowledges that they have limitations. So coming to physiotherapy and say, listen, he's coming back from injury and I would like to do this kind of development and getting him back to the game. What is your opinion? So coming in the position of your uncertainty or in a way ignorance and your limitation really brings a person to you because it gives him opportunity that he can be heard. Same goes with doctors. They are special in a lot of ways, but at the position when they feel like they are contributing in a way that they will be heard, they will not try to kind of raise voice or raise their title over you so that they need to be heard. In any kind of coexistence and surrounding where people have opportunity to be heard, I think nobody will fight for them to speak up.
So you're looking for people that are more, let's say, oriented to share knowledge and passion, that top level professional, because sometimes they don't understand how to share their knowledge inside a specific environment.
Yeah, it sounds a bit rough. As I said, you are more, because the level of the whole practice is much higher. If I have to choose between guys that are know more or want to give more, I would rather choose a guy who will want to give more, because maybe it's because I am like that.
Okay.
I feel like I want to give more than I know.
If you can pass the mic, thank you. So, let's say, surfing what Filippo was saying now, I think one of the main changes in the last years in our job, that our exposure in terms of communicating anything we are doing with players is higher than normally. Okay, so you cannot touch a player, you cannot decide for a rehabilitation process or diagnostic. You have to inform agents, family, everything is on the social media. So there is a kind of higher responsibility if I compare my past to nowadays in communicating all the procedures that are inside the team. So in your experience, that's very important for us to know. In your experience, do you find professionals that are always so well mindset, that have always this mindsetting on providing documentation or explanation of everything they are doing, or is a very difficult way?
First of all, hi from my side. I think it really depends on every player. So we, especially this season, we have a really young team with guys who are really concerned about their body as well. So they are really into those topics and really likely to get explanations, because they are also new to being pros and learning to be a pro at the same time. So they're really capable of listening to us, the advice we gave them, and that's why I think it's really important to have clear roles in such a performance team, and also to have clear goals in mind, because at the end of the day, it's not about me as SNC coach, it's not about the physio, it's not about the skill coach, it's about the team, it's about every player, so we can develop as a team. And therefore we need sometimes to take a step back and focus together on those goals, so we can achieve the goals together. So for example, if we talk to a player or we give advices to a player and he is with us in a room, and then I'm fighting with the doctor or the physiotherapist because everyone got his own opinion and we are not on the same goal, we are not facing together what is the best for the player, then the player gets concerned as well, and he gets like, maybe it's not the best surrounding for me as well, because if my performance team is not clear what they want for me.
Let's make this, let's say, this consideration. Your performance team is deciding from a diagnostic phase, and people behind the players disagree. And they come to you and say, you know what, should be done differently, or I'm taking my player in this spot, this place, there is this specialist that has different experiences, blah, blah, blah. How do you react? Are you supporting a second opinion outside your organization, or is something that put you with the back against the wall, say, like, they are criticizing us, something's wrong, and the management is coming, what's going on here? Yeah. Which is your experience in these kind of terms? I think I'm telling stories that we have lived frequently, and most of the times it can happen.
I think it also really depends on the situation. So luckily we got a general manager who's really behind us, so everything we do is right next to him, and he likes what we are doing, so we can take those decisions together.
So but GM is supporting you?
Yes, he's
doesn't
really
matter
supportive.
Why?
Yes.
But you got full trust, 100% on his people. That's
because he said he chose us to be his people, so he trusts us in everything we do, and we often got cases like this, and then write
this down. Your GM should support you, doesn't matter what, okay? This is the starting point. If not, these things doesn't happen, it's very, very difficult.
And then it really depends on the situation and what the players or the agent or every guy behind him wants him to be. Like if he's going to some Instagram coaches who doing fancy stuff for rehab or whatever, then we're getting next to him and showing him the evidence, the work we're doing, also taking general manager with us and showing him, okay, everything we do is evidence-based, everything we do works in a scientific way, and just to give him this trust in the things we do. And at the end of the day, when he still wants to have a second opinion, then we would never say, no, you're not allowed to get this opinion, because then we are losing trust of the player as well.
That's another fantastic point, supporting your choices and your opinion with evidence. At a certain moment, you should bring more than your opinion. It's very, very difficult. In this field, Danny, I'm very happy to ask you something more specific, because in many positions inside the performance team, there are, like I said before, different mindset. Okay, Philip was talking about evaluations from strength training. Some therapists like to do some assessment. I don't know, something easy like joint mobility or whatever they like, muscle attention. Some doctors really trust about MRI and clinical diagnostic, blah, blah, blah. So let's say that all of us in different fields start choices and approaches, training processes from something objective, okay? Are we sharing our knowledge? My question is, I'm really interested to know how the therapists are developing their treatments, let's say, philosophy, and which is the logic of their process. And I'm really interested about how our doctors are reading a diagnostic, an MRI, whatever, and from where this choice starts, and where the choice will end, Example, healing phase, how many days we need, what are you reading in these specific fields. Are we performance team professionals sharing our evaluation diagnostic in a proper way, or in terms of diagnostic we are still closed rooms?
Tough to answer. I think that it depends on the situation, on the club. But I will back to the first question. It depends on the structure you have in your club. So if the structure is clear, you have a good hierarchy, and the roles are clear, you're more likely to share your data or whatever, and make everyone do his job. On the other side, there's a lot of different profiles. There are profiles that are super scientific, they are good practitioners, and there are guys in between. And sometimes it's, from my point of view, it's difficult to talk each other the same language. So you have to have someone in the club that put everything in common. And one thing I thought in my organization is that everyone wants to create new data. Data, and data, if it's not important, and the most of data we're managing is not important, it's noise. Noise, pure noise. So the noise is leading you far from the truth. We're looking from the truth. And the truth is beneath the remains, because there's a lot of noise above. So you have to have someone really good experience with a lot of knowledge in, like, let's say, in all the fields, not super good at one thing, but with a lot of knowledge, so he can talk with all the specialists that put everything in together, and good hierarchy. For me, this is the main thing.
When you speak about hierarchy, are you speaking about responsibilities or sharing strategies? Because, for example, I'm not, let's say, arguing about specific responsibility. You know, the coach is responsible of the game, of basketball stuff. The team doctor is responsible for health and blah blah blah. But there are some situations that are in between. So, which is your experience? You know, are you looking for sharing your knowledge with the others, or are you waiting others' responsibilities that can involve you? Because it's completely different approach.
Yeah.
I can be proactive, okay, and people working with me are expecting my activity without any kind of judgment, or, you know, in a very structured organization, you gotta just wait your turn.
Yep.
Are you pushing the boundaries or just
In my case, I'm like more the leg on the left side. So I try to, because I always developing new ways to look at the basketball phenomena. But for me, the thing is clear. You have to have someone in charge, okay, and small structures, fractalism. This is called fractalism. Yeah. So you have to talk to 3-4 people as much, and there have 2-3-4 people also, so they can report you, and you don't have to talk to 25 people.
Yeah.
So everything is clear. And if you need something new because you lack of information, or they have something that consider that can help you, okay, have this good relationship. But you have to create 2-3 lines as much. I had an interview with an NBA franchise this year, and they present me their staff, their performance staff. And they told me, what do you think about it? And I say, there's a Spanish, like a Spanish proverb, a Spanish expression. Okay. There's jaula of grillos. Okay, it's a cage with someone talking and you hear nothing, you don't have clear nothing. So if you have like a meeting early in the morning and everyone is giving his opinion, okay, you're arriving nowhere, because not everyone has the, we should wait everyone's opinion. So if I know my team and I know who's better at anything, I will trust him more than trust others' opinions. That's why I think we have to build small
units.
Small units
oriented on finding results, finding the.
And the bigger the organization, the bigger the fractalism.
Yeah.
That's all.
I understand. About the language and about communication, I started with Philip again, so we can make another round. It's normal when you're working together, let's say emotionally speaking, all our season got some ups, some downs, so that's normality, let's say, anywhere in the world. How you face, let's say, conflicts. When someone is coming to you, says, I disagree with you, and are you developing or are taking under consideration some soft skills? How do you to manage situation where there is a conflict, we disagree on the project, but we gotta come out from a meeting, a discussion with something shared. How you can face, let's say, a controversy in front of you?
I think this enough comes from to his questions, actually, with people that you're actually not working with. So external players support, let's say in that way, agents, and whoever. And I always say that two people cannot agree because they didn't sit on the table long enough. So most of the people that we work with and collide with are reasonable people. So reason will always come to the end if something makes sense. So if I sit with someone and we disagree and even fight, I love to say in those situations is that, you know what, I've been married for 7 years, we fought a lot, we are still married and we still love each other. That makes, for sure. And the thing is, it needs time. So we don't need to make decision right away. If we need to make decision right away, then the person of responsibility will make decision and I will reflect that decision. So let's say let's be very pragmatical. I have a physio and doctor, and we are talking about return to play time. The physio says 4 weeks, doctor says 8 weeks. I say 4
6.
weeks.
Right?
But okay.
Politically correct.
Yeah. First, all of
Friends
those
in the boat.
conversations, as Dani said, need to be moderated, because like you moderate this conversation, because every time you ask a question, all of us have a line of thought, we have something to speak, but you cannot speak all the time. So the person in charge has to moderate the conversation. And then after that, try to find new reasoning behind all those numbers and decisions. And if there is no decision, if we don't need to make a decision, we don't make a decision. But if we have to, then I, as a person of responsibility in this situation, will have to make a decision. But fighting is fine, but it can't go out of the room.
No, that's I agree absolutely. I use the same strategy. You mentioned the example 4 weeks or 8 weeks. In this case, I says, okay, let's wait the first slot, 4 weeks, and we meet together one more time. Let's decide which is the diagnostic we are doing, and let's plan the 4 weeks, week by week. Don't take the decision now, because sometimes if you gotta take the decision now, it's a fight between me and you because we are thinking differently. If you just move the goal in 4 weeks, probably the scenario can be completely different. We decide taking care about other variables, so the scenario is completely different. So I like some time to support the organization with some shared evaluations. So we're gonna wait a different moment to take the proper decision when it's possible, when it's not always possible. Because if you gotta decide for a player that should be available tomorrow, you gotta decide now. So at that moment, you gotta respect all the position. And I say risks, because sometimes you gotta, at our level, you take some risks, Are we playing in a final? Are we at the beginning of the season? It's so important, and which is the history of the player. So as many variables that you are tracking, easier is your choice. Because it doesn't mean that you don't make any mistake, you just reduce the amount of mistake, okay? So that's very important.
What is my experience in those situations where people are fighting about what is right and not? When you take responsibility away from them, they're fine with it. They don't care. If he says 6, he says 8, and I say, okay, it's going to be 6 or 8. They care. I said, I will take responsibility. Oh, that's great.
It's on you. It's on you. Okay, how much time? Quanto tempo ho ancora a disposizione? 5 minutes. Okay.
Just good.
Perfect. Sorry.
1 second.
No, I was just looking for the time available.
In this example, that is really good. Last few 2-3 years, when we sit to discuss 4-8 weeks, I always, if I'm in the 4 weeks opinion, I always say 16 weeks. And everybody turn and look at me like, come on, you're crazy. He's not playing anymore. And I tell him, okay, we're not taking risk. So if we don't put the guy on the floor, he's not going to get injured. So, okay, it's easy to delay
Sure.
any risk. So take the risk.
Take the responsibility,
Yeah.
not the risk. You want to do things without risks, but you gotta take the responsibility.
But we have to take some risk, because if not, what we are for? Doctors, physios, whoever. So sometimes we have to be accountable of our opinions.
Is more connected with our ego, because what if we come and say wrong, then actually player getting injured, because there is 4 weeks of going, but what if after 4 weeks he's not ready, and we came there and said 4 weeks. It's more about our ego, and I have really no problem, because I have a GM that really supports us, and I have a coach that I have a great relationship with. I can come and say, I was wrong, we were wrong, what can you do?
Can happen that you got a long-term rehabilitation, and the coaches are coming to you and says, okay, when this player can play next game, okay? So what we did in the last years was just taking care about the last 2-3 weeks, okay? So the return to play starts just at the end. So we are waiting the end of the healing phase, the end of the retraining phase, and after I can have a clear view about answering properly to the coach. I cannot say now that he's going to play in 3 months against, I don't know, Maccabi, because it's like, it's not science, you know. So delaying the answer sometimes is a good choice because you can have more time for a procedure. Last question to all of you. So let's say very quick answer. Let's say that you're changing a team tomorrow. You know, you're going to meet new people. You're going to bring your experience, the new organization. Which is your starting day? From where do you start?
Can it be let's go and have beer day, like get drunk day? Let's say there is no drunk day.
So that's good.
First, my starting point is to call all I can call about those people. That's my starting point because I have to know who am I working here in the future.
Because this is important for us, but I mean, it's important for all of them.
Yeah,
because in any case, the rules,
Yeah.
when you change the organization, are exactly the same. It's not something crazy because you are moving from a minor team to another minor team. You are going to the new organization, they're expecting something new, something good from you, because they just gonna hire you, so they are expecting something that is gonna change. So the starting point.
My starting point with them, when I try to realize as much as I can who am I working with, I will make some kind of presentation in what are my thoughts, but openly as these are my thoughts. This is how I worked so far. These were my challenges. This was good. Please tell me what you did so far. Can we kind of get on the same page? Because if we start, that's way before the season starts or pre-season. If we start with somebody like getting them in the safe place so they speak and say, you know, I don't like this. This makes no sense. So let's go through that 1 month before we start. And I think for sure that I will change probably a lot if there are some really good ideas. I think I'm open to that. So that will be kind of my start with the new team.
So open to, to share information and to fix some goals and to work together.
But I think the best sharing point is I give you what I have, and then comment it, like it, don't like it. Let's go through it.
Thank you.
I would personally totally relate to that type of view. If I got to a new team, to a new performance stuff, whatever it was, the first thing I want to get to know is the people, the character of the people, because you need to get along with them. And then I think it's also important to recognize, as we call it, eco and ego.
So getting drunk is important because they reduce, their tension, their cognitive aspect on the reaction. So
you will see the real characters.
Exactly.
And then I would say, because we're talking about ego and ecosystem, just make sure you're not the most important part of the stuff. So I'm working for my head coach, I'm providing my expertise, but I'm not responsible in the way he is. So I would, for example, if we take the conditioning part of a team, I would ask him about the last seasons. Have you ever dealt with issues of the conditioning of the team? And if he's saying no, everything was fine, he was quite fine with all of the conditioning, then I would say, okay, we take the conditioning like you did it in the past, and let's stick to those systems because it's working along with you. And I'm the new part, I give whatever you want from me, I give you my expertise. But if your system works for you, then I will add something, but not will change your system at all, because that's not my responsibility.
Another more important aspect, in my opinion, is much more the evolution, not the revolution. Sometimes you are going in a new situation, you don't know the situation, you want to just show up yourself. You can make mistakes. Just wait, first goal, and start moving for it. So this is a very important part. So for you, Danny, changing team is impossible. You are a hero in Badalona.
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to change.
You're going to change. Okay.
No, I will make a closer approach. First of all, I will ask to them that show me on paper what they have. Reports, data, assessment, whatever. Because I know the organization, how they work, and I know the people that I'm working with through that. After, I will look at the places. Weight room, the court, an additional court, side court if you have one.
Board, the locker room,
room.
How communication is going. Yeah. I agree.
Because also you can look at the things and know how they are and how they behave in those places that basically are the places that you are going to run. Basically these two things, and afterwards I will balance, or I will evaluate, I like this, I don't like this, okay, I'm going to start to change where I don't like, and maybe I like something that I haven't done before.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I keep it.
Yeah.
Or I want to learn it. I want to learn more about this.
Yeah, to give some credits is
Yeah.
important.
But what you have on paper tells you a lot about the professional you have in front of you.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mean that having nothing in paper is bad. Eh? You can be good professional, but being like strict, well organized,
To
having
analyze your
data,
job. I mean,
yeah.
it's a minimum standard that you can ask. Thank you to our speakers. Please, a big round of applause to them. And thank you for sharing your experience. It was a very nice talk. And I really believe that to build a very, let's say, integrated performance team is important, to give away the ego of people and to invest on trust, because the power of trust is one of the main engines in our world. Thank you so much.
Allora, grazie, thank you very much. Grazie Francesco.